Realtors don't sell your home. We sell the dream. We sell happiness in a little jar. We sell ourselves. Hey everybody, this is Jason with Compass Realty. I'm going to talk about today why realtors don't sell your home. Go ahead and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Alright, I appreciate that, guys. Okay, so I'm not talking about these silly stereotypes that we like to say as realtors and as salespeople. If I'm not talking about that, then what am I saying? I'm saying that realtors are only a piece of the puzzle, a part of the team that actually sells your home. It's a very complicated process to buy or sell a home, and I'm going to show you all of the basic team members that are involved behind the scenes. So let's start off with the title rep. Who is the title rep? The title rep is the person who looks at the piece of paper that states who owns the home, and they make sure that the seller is indeed the owner of the house, number one. And then number two, they look for liens, encumbrances, and debts on the property. Why do they do that? Because when you sell the home, if there's a debt or a lien on the property, it could go to the buyer. And of course, the buyer doesn't want that. So for example, I'm going to sell my house. I want to fix it up. I'm going to pay some painters about $3,000, something. Okay, I pay them $3,000 to paint the house just a little bit, but I don't have any cash. I tell the painters, don't worry, I don't have any money now, but when I sell the house, you'll get $3,000. They say, okay, and what they do is they put what's called a mechanic's lien. Very bad idea, by the way. They put a mechanic's lien on the house saying that you will pay when the home sells and the lien stays on the house. Now, if I sell you the house, you're the buyer, and I don't clear up that lien, then the lien will go to you. You see, the lien stays with the property. And so the title rep, going back to the title rep, they make sure there are no clouds on the title, meaning there are no liens or debts and things like this when you inherit the house. Okay, so that's person number one. Number two, we have escrow. What is escrow? Escrow is typically a group of people, and what they are is a neutral third party. So let's take a look at it, and let's just be real here. In real estate, you have a buyer and you have a seller, and we would always like to think that everything is peachy and wonderful and everybody's happy, but the truth of the matter is that the seller is trying to sell their home for the highest price, okay? And the buyer is trying to buy the home for the lowest price possible. Escrow is really good for one reason. Like I said, they're neutral third party. They don't favor the buyer or the seller. They handle the deal in the middle. So that way things don't get too complicated between the seller and the buyer. Another thing that escrow does is they hold on to money. At the end of the deal, they make sure that everybody gets paid fairly. Okay, moving on, we have the mortgage broker. The mortgage broker is the person who gets a loan for the buyer if they need it. So say I'm the buyer, I will go to the mortgage broker, and then I will get pre-approval. So what that means is I go to the mortgage broker and I give them some financial information about me, how much money I earn, how much money I have in the bank, things like this. And they write a letter saying, Mr. Buyer can buy a house up to $300,000, $500,000, $900,000, $1 million, whatever it is. They say the amount that I can buy the home for, and the seller needs this before we start the deal to make sure that you can afford the house. You have the transaction coordinator, also known as the TC. Now, not all realtors use a transaction coordinator, but it's very useful, especially here in LA, that we live in a very litigious culture here in Los Angeles, to say the least. There are piles and piles of paperwork. While the realtor on the buyer side and the seller side both need to sign these papers, usually the transaction coordinator is there to send the papers out to the people who need to sign them and make sure that everything gets signed before the deal gets closed. So why is a transaction coordinator so powerful for a realtor? Not only are they a paperwork expert, but also realtors, there's a lot of things that are being said about realtors that they don't do much all day or they're never busy, which is not true, at least for successful realtors. Most realtors are out there what we call prospecting. If you work in sales, you know this term. We're prospecting. We're looking for people who want to buy or sell their house. We spend 2, 4, maybe 6 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week, sometimes more on the weekend, looking for people who want to sell or buy a house. So we want to be out there finding more and more deals, and sitting at a desk and doing 3.5 hours worth of paperwork will really kill our productivity, and that's why we are grateful and thankful to have transaction coordinators. Buying and selling a home is very litigious. If people want to do a for sale by owner, meaning they sell their home themselves without a realtor, that's great, but it is very difficult to do, especially right now during the current situation. There are extra documents and extra forms that people need to sign just to enter the door. We can't do open houses right now. We can't do brokers open. We can only have one-by-one appointments to let people in to make sure that everything is clean and everybody's safe. Okay, everybody, so back to the beginning of the video. Like I said, realtors don't sell your home. It is in fact all of these people that are part of a team that sell your home in this very complicated process. So all of these people don't work for free. And what does that mean? Closing costs. What are closing costs? So like I said, all of these team members don't work for free, and then they all get a piece of the money that comes from selling this house. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. This has been really fun. Usually I do an area profile on Los Angeles, but this was a little different. I hope you guys liked it. And don't go anywhere soon. We've got more area profiles coming up and more real estate information. Stay here for the latest real estate updates, especially as they pertain to Los Angeles. All right, guys, are you looking to sell your home in Los Angeles, especially for the highest price? Go ahead and call the number you see down below here, and we'll have a 5-minute conversation, and I'll just let you know what I could do for you, and that is sell your home for the highest price, and I'll show you the plan that I have to do it. You got it? Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time, and don't go anywhere.